It's not every day that Donald Trump and his adult children are all forced to take the stand. Indeed, this hasn't happened in over a decade. But just last week, of course, Trump was forced to witness stand. That was over kind of a process issue because he violated his civil gag order. This is different than the other new federal gag order that was slapped back on him last night. I know it's a lot to keep track of, but we got you. This is the civil case in New York over fraud. He was fined $10K by the judge for violating that gag order.
We have breaking news that the former president, Donald Trump, has just been fined $10,000 by the judge.
Judge Engoron put Trump on the stand to ask him what he was referring to, whether he was talking about Michael Cohen, or referring again to the judge's law clerk, who's the subject of a gag order.
What an extraordinary moment just happened in court. Donald Trump testifying in open court and having a judge say, "I find you not credible."
That played as a big deal. That was all just last week. Now, that is, again, the civil case in New York where a lot of money's on the line. This is the case where Trump's businesses are being tested, where what he's allowed to legally do in business may be further narrowed. So now defendant Trump and his adult children will testify. This week, we can tell you it starts off with Don Jr. and Eric Trump. Next week, defendant Trump will take the stand. It'll be about more than just the gag order. And then by November 8th, you see Ivanka Trump. Now, Trump's 3 adult children have been involved in his company, his branding, and many different business activities. It has also sometimes blurred, to say the least, the line between personal and business because in efforts to either save money or cut corners or sometimes play games with the tax authorities, and the New York Times has busted at least Trump himself for that, the kids bit of a separate matter, but some of their homes are actually owned by LLCs, which the judge has stripped of their legal business standing.
This is a place that's really special to myself. It's really special to my brother, my father, really the whole family. I mean, this is really our compound, and I've spent so much of my life here.
My cabin in upstate New York, because it's owned in an LLC, that is a corporation, and therefore, because I'm a part of it somehow, that has to be disbanded. And so then what or who actually owns my cabin at this point?
It's easier for us to be personal, to take our brand personally, because it is a family brand.
It is a family brand. It is, as Sly and the Family Stone might say, a family affair. And the younger Mr. Trump there said, what or who owns my cabin? That's a real legal question if the entity that owns your cabin is so rife with fraud that it's no longer allowed to operate. These are corporate rules that, as I mentioned, may have saved them money, taxes, and other things over the years. Now, depending on the outcome of this trial, they may find the downside to playing so many corporate games. We will also learn how much damages Donald Trump and his company itself will have to pay. They are asking at the Attorney General's office for over $200 million. We do think the trial will be done by the end of the year, so we will know that number and how it affects the whole family affair. We'll be right back.